Then we can move into item E, which is the second Friday in January pupil count.
And if you thought that was exciting.
All right.
I do have a handout if you want to see these. Maybe easier for you to read than things that you're seeing above there. Good news with our second Friday count. We have two counts, one in September on the third Friday, and then a second in January for the second Friday in January count. Reporting on that tonight, if you take a look at the back page, kind of did a little breakdown of this. In September of 2011, as compared to September of 2010, we lost 84 students. And the real important piece of that is that not only did we lose 84 students, but over the course of 3 years, we'll also lose the $9,000 that attached to each of those students. So that's a pretty big number that we need to overcome. The good news is, as you compare that January 2012 count to the September 10th count, we actually picked up 29 students in January. Now, whether they'll be there in September, we don't know, but it's important for us to try to make up that difference, because that's additional revenues for the district that we can use for programs. So it would be nice to see that. The other thing that I'd just like you to focus in, you can take a look at the numbers where the significant changes are on your own, but the September count is used for revenue limit purposes. This determines the total amount of dollars that we can spend in combination with state aid and the local tax levy. The combination of the September and January count, the average of those along with summer school, then determines our state aid. So if our equalized values go up and our student numbers go down, we look property rich. So that's not always a good thing when we're looking at getting aided from the state. If our property values go up and our student numbers continue to go up, we look like we've always looked, and then on the other hand, if our property values start to drop and our student numbers start to increase, and we start to look more property poor. And the important piece of that, again, is that Tomah has always been a highly aided district. At one point, not too many years ago, we were aided at almost 70 cents for every dollar that we spent. Within the changes, obviously, in the last year, we're down to about 58 cents for every dollar we spend. So we would certainly like to continue to be aided at that higher rate. That certainly helps us with our tax levy. So we would like to see more kids show up next year for revenue limit purposes, and then also for the following year help us with our state aid. So some good news, some not so good news. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out when we get our state aid estimate on July 1st, and then when we see how many kids show up in September. And it's a long ways away, and considering we're trying to set a budget in April, by the time we have all the information, a quarter of the school year will be over. So it makes things a little bit difficult. That's all I have. If you have other questions.
Thank you.
Yep.